In this module, we are going to discuss about research ethics. As research ethics is concerned basically with the responsibility of the researcher in to be honest and truthful to all the participants or respondents who are affected by their research. I have used the word participant and respondent. In a qualitative study, it is participant, and in a quantitative study, they are called as respondents. Now, how much honest and respectful he or she is towards the research subjects is the research ethics. Now, this does not only, it is not only limited to the participants, but also to the general research audience as a whole could be also brought in to the gamut of research ethics. There are some unethical examples by which research was conducted. Take, for instance, breaking and re-breaking of bones, which was conducted during the Nazi rule in order to see how many times the bones could be broken before it could heal. In another study in Jewish Chronic Disease Hospital in the year 1963, patients were injected with live cancer cells. In another study, 400 men had been left to suffer with syphilis long after a cure, penicillin, was available and discovered. Milgram's study, though did not sustain any physical harm to the participants, but rather they suffered shame, embarrassment for having behaved inhumanly toward the fellow human beings. These are some of the unethical examples. There could be many more if you dig into deeper. What these examples brings to light is how researchers have infringed the right of dignity and humanity and right to live of a participant or respondent. We will now examine various aspects which we need to protect of individuals in order to while carrying out the research. Some of the ethical guidelines are: every human being has a right to be respected, and we should also respect individuals' human dignity. This is the most cardinal rule. The right of the individuals in order that in terms of taking and controlling their own activities, so that they have the right to disclose what they have to disclose, and they have the right to withhold what they want to withhold. The second principle for human dignity is right to self-determination and full disclosure. It's based on the principle of respect. Humans are capable of self-determination and controlling their own destiny. They have the right to participate in the study voluntarily, and they also have the right to withdraw. And this can occur at any stage of the process. There should be no cohesion of the participants in order to participate in the study in any form. The consent should be voluntary. There should not be any deception while acquiring the consent. The consent should be free and informed. Participants should be given adequate information. They should be able to comprehend what is the consequence of participating in the study. It should be done under the power of free choice and enable free voluntary participation. There are consents should be expressed. It should be done by signing a consent form wherein you clearly state the objects of the study and the consent which is obtained by the participant or the respondent in order to participate in the study. Implied consent, wherein you are inviting a participant to study to participate in a survey, and the very fact that they participated expresses that they are implied to the consent. They have given you the consent. But it should be defined in the preliminary that the moment you accept to participate in the survey, it is implied that you are given the consent to participate in the study. Third is the process consent. It is very important in a qualitative study wherein we tell the participant at every stage that whether they have the consent to carry out the study. Take for instance, you have like you are subjecting a participant to some particular images. You need to ask the consent that can I show the images which may be disturbing to you, but this is what is a part of the study. So at every phase, it's not only that you take the consent once for the study, but various process of the qualitative research or a quantitative research, consent should be taken. And the principal rule is, if there is any physical harm, is there any psychological harm or any emotional harm which can be caused to the participant. So we need to be wary of this fact. And there is the principle of right to privacy and confidentiality. Every individual has a right of reputation, right of privacy. And as a researcher, we should not infringe on their right to privacy and confidentiality. So it occurs when if you share the personal information of the respondents to the third party, and this is infringement of their personal right. So the researcher should be careful about this particular aspect. Every individual has a right to be anonymous. Subject's identity should not be revealed unless a written consent is given by them. So based on the right to privacy, subject has the right of anonymity. Confidentiality is the researchers, how researcher manage the private information shared by the subject is confidentiality. The researcher should not part the information to the third party, or the researcher should not use the information for any ulterior motives. This should be carefully noted by the researcher. This brings end to this module.